So, Nintendo's sixth home console is going to be revealed at E3 2011, just 11 days from now, in fact. And when the first really concrete details, rumors, speculation of the sixth home console came out, one of the first things that was discussed was the possibility of there being a screen of some sort built into the controller. And why do that? The starting point for Wii was they want to be able to sell games to as many people as possible. They want to get people picking up the controller, get people wanting to play that hadn't played before. And the touchscreen on the DS made games like Brain Age a lot more accessible for players who, weren't playing the Game Boy Advance, for instance. And furthermore, the touchscreen got people interested. At the time, you have to remember, it's not like nearly every phone had a touchscreen like now is the case. Touchscreens were not really especially common in handheld devices other than Palm Pilots and PDAs and such. So the touchscreen, that made people want to try it. That made people want to touch it, literally. And then they really wanted to get people to pick up the controller of their fifth home system, the Wii. And the starting point for that was someone who is really intimidated by games, isn't been a long-time gamer, they'll may be really intimidated by this. But everyone knows how to use this. Everyone will pick this up. So we have the Wii Remote, based on a television remote, and by not having a freehand design, I don't have my nunchuck handy, but having a freehand design, really able to take advantage of what you could do with a motion controller and with pointing and such, that was sort of limited with controllers held in both hands. And so we have this thing. A lot of new people picked up the controller for the first time with Wii. It's not an alien device. It's something that can sit on the coffee table and be relevant to every member of the family, even if they're not, hardcore. They haven't, necessarily transformed into hardcore gamers and playing the new Zelda or Metroid ever, or playing games as the traditional gamers. They can relate to games now. They can play games. They know what a game can be. Take, for instance, the Wii wheel. Yes, it's a really sort of gimmicky thing. It's a plastic shell you put the Wii remote into and you hold it like a steering wheel. But that wheel, that made Mario Kart Wii accessible. They made a lot more inviting and accessible to a lot of those Wii Sports, Wii Fit novices that, Mario Kart is a game that the traditional gamer has been playing and enjoying since the Super Nintendo, and now these novice gamers who just picked up, Wii Sports and played Wii Fit and maybe in Brain Age are playing right alongside everyone else. When they talk about expanding their audience, they want to sell. They don't just want to sell the casual games as you generally would think of them to that expanded audience. They want to get them buying as many games as possible, and that means the traditional games too. And Mario Kart Wii was one of those bridge titles that got a lot of people playing who hadn't before, easing them into the traditional game. They'll may never play in the same capacity or have the same taste as the traditional gamer, but it eased them into playing those more complex games. And I think that's what Nintendo wants to do. And related note, I very recently heard a Mario Kart Wii commercial on the radio. I've never heard of a video game company advertising on the radio before, especially not Nintendo, where they really want people to. They want to get people who thinking about, hey, maybe I could pick up Mario Kart. Maybe it's not just something for the hardcore, the traditional, the hobbyist gamer. Wii Party. They played Wii Party right at E3 2010. They didn't draw a lot of attention to it. They just mentioned it. They showed some footage of it. They said what it was about. What Wii Party is, I haven't played it, but I've seen footage of it. Wii Party is getting that expanded audience. It's coaxing them into playing more complex games. We today will think of Mario Party as being a casual game, being a minigame collection, but the the base that really made Mario Party into the franchise it is now, it was the traditional gamer. Back on N64, it was really the traditional gamer, the same people playing Mario and Zelda and Mario Kart, that really made Mario Party such a hit. And it's as far as it's a bit more advanced than Brain Age. It's a step up from Wii Fit and Wii Sports in terms of complexity, and from Wii Play. They've been working at getting the expanded audience into playing traditional games. And why? Of course, you could think of 100 little gimmicky reasons why Nintendo might want to put a screen on the controller of their new system. Think of the Wii Remote. You know, no one would, not everyone, the GameCube, the traditional two-handed many button and sticks controller, that was not relevant to everyone. Our TV remote was relevant to everyone, so they made the Wii Remote, and that made games relevant to more people. Even gamers, even the Wii Sports, Wii Fit, Brain Age crowd, those players that need help, they need to be walked through even learning to play Wii Sports. Even those people can, a lot of them now, they have smartphones now. They're used to using a touchscreen. This is a relevant thing to people who maybe are just, maybe they're only, if anything, into, you know, Wii Sports and Wii Fit, or maybe not even at all yet. But they're used to this. They're used to holding this thing in their hands. They're used to a touchscreen like this. So if they could put this and this together, why would you want to put a screen on that? That would make it more complex, right? That would make it, maybe having a touchscreen and some buttons and sticks and triggers, that might make it a bit too complex too. Well, for one, I think to approach the system console, I think Nintendo wants to make this all their casual Wii games sort of a stepping stone up to this next controller. But the point is, they want a controller with a feature that feels relevant and familiar to them. In this case, perhaps theoretically, this is my idea of what Nintendo may be thinking, if these rumors are true, of a touchscreen as they'd have on their smartphone that they could maybe use just fine, even if they can't use a complex controller like this. Put this and this together, the Super Guide. You got your Super Guide right here on the controller. You've got, at all times, an interactive output which is just can teach you how to play the game, can show you how to play the game, can make using a more complex, more traditional controller easy to use. I mean, who hasn't seen or experienced when they were younger, or maybe even now, you know, standing behind a parent or a relative or someone who hasn't, you know, really been playing games, like, oh, you know, you press this button or you hold this and press this. You're standing behind their shoulder, getting them to, you know, maybe try to play Mario Galaxy or New Super Mario Brothers Wii or Legend of Zelda. Putting a screen in a two-handed, more traditional controller, that has the potential to really be the bridge between the novice gamer getting into Wii Sports and Wii Fit, the bridge between that and playing a 3D Super Mario platformer and playing a new Zelda. Of course, there are all sorts of interesting gaming things they could do with if they put a screen in here, but really, I think that's going to be the crux of why Nintendo would want to put a screen on a traditional, more two-handed controller. And as far as streaming content, entire games to a controller, possibly the controller serving as its own sort of handheld platform, that I cannot begin to wrap my brain around. That, if Nintendo wants to go in that direction, if these rumors turn out to be true, that I will just sit back and say, Nintendo, show me what you're thinking, because I can't get in your head with that. And having this screen and controller, touchscreen, especially multi-touch, if there's a screen and controller, I'd hope for it to be multi-touch. That makes me think of an expensive controller, and that doesn't seem Nintendo-like. But this new system, it's going to be higher performance, and it's going to skew more traditional, more, quote, hardcore than the Wii did, I believe. But one thing's for sure, whatever this new controller is going to be, it's going to be something different. It's going to be something that will make people want to pick it up and try it. And that is really, I think, the key of every Nintendo system since 2004. The DS, you want to try two screens. You want to try the touchscreen, at the time the touchscreen being a novelty. With the Wii, you want to try one-handed gaming. You want to try motion control. You want to try pointing. You want to try moving your character with the nunchuck while using the motion control with your free hand. And with the 3DS, you want to pick it up. You want to feel the sensation of 3D projected at you without glasses. And whatever the new controller will be, it will be an evolution of that idea. Will it have a screen? We'll see. But that's what I think Nintendo could be thinking if the 6-home console ends up having a screen in the controller. So thank you very much for watching.